how to correctly dispose of the waste that we make. I might not be making any waste other than what you see in the jar at the moment, but I live with 3 other people who do. So I've asked them to collect some of their waste for me over the last week, and we can have a look at what they made and how to get rid of it. So as you can see, we've got a bit of range of stuff here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate it into paper and cardboard, hard plastic, soft plastic, and probably some special things on the side. And we'll see how we go from there. So I've separated all the waste out into cardboard. Got my hard plastics over there, and all the bag. I've got 1 can and 1 glass bottle. And I've got some soft plastics in the corner here, and then I've got my odd ones out over here. And where I live in our council recycling bin, we can put cardboard, paper, hard plastics, aluminium cans, and any glass bottles or jars from any food products. Fun fact, you don't need to rinse anything to put in a recycling bin. That's a myth. It's not for the recycling benefit, it's just to keep your bin nice. So if you don't want to do that, you absolutely don't have to. The thing about having all our recycling together is that they need to separate out all these products when they get to the plant. And so they have special machines that do this, like for example a magnet will pick up the cans to separate it from the pile. So when we think about paper and cardboard, I mentioned in a previous video that paper and cardboard make good brown waste for your compost bin. So I do that when I possibly can. So to know if you can put your cardboard or paper in recycling bin, you just need to give it a good feel. So for example, here we have a paper towel roll. This is completely made from cardboard. It's rough, it just feels like plain cardboard, so that's absolutely good for my compost bin. But if it feels shiny, like this wine box, then it's no good for the compost bin, so it's best to put that in the recycling. So that's what I do, is I separate them out. But there's no reason why you can't put a cardboard roll into the recycling bin. I'm just using it in my compost bin because that works for me. Next we have hard plastics. So a lot of people think that they can't recycle their milk cartons because they're a combination of paper and plastic, and this is absolutely not the case. You can. The other thing that people worry about, this is quite complicated and controversial, is whether you need to take your lids off your bottles. It actually depends on where you live, so you can call your council to find out, but what I do is I just take the lids off because that way I'm not upsetting the system either way. And the other thing to make sure is if you do put any bottles in, make sure they are completely empty because liquid can contaminate the process. I also have a bottle and a can here. So like I said, you don't have to rinse out your cans. I have here just because I didn't want them to get smelly before I made the video. The other thing that people worry about is whether they need to pull off the packaging off their bottles and cans before they recycle them. And fun fact, you don't have to, so it's easy. The process of making glass into more glass and making cans into more cans, actually I think my understanding is that it burns off that paper, so it's not an issue at all. What's really important with your yellow recycling is to make sure you're not putting too much of the wrong thing in. Even though it's commingled, the more you put wrong in, the more likely that that plant will have to just give away with a whole batch because it's too hard to sort through, and then it'll just all end up in landfill, so you can undo a lot of people's hard work by doing the wrong thing. Another really important point is to not put your recycling in a plastic bag and then into the bin. The machine can't actually handle things that are in the plastic bag and it completely destroys the process, so make sure you put these things loose into your bin. And then I have some soft plastic here. So soft plastics refer to anything that's called the scrunch test. Anything that you can go like that with, like a plastic bag or the packaging. So anything that can pass the scrunch test is a soft plastic, and you can put soft plastic in a Red Cycle program. So Red Cycle is a program where you can take your soft plastics to your supermarket, and they'll go from the supermarket to another organisation, and they'll turn them into these plastic pallets, which then can be used for anything to make, for example, school furniture and that sort of thing. At the moment, only 5% of the total soft plastics in Australia are actually recycled. So what we do in my house is we collect all our soft plastics and put them in a bag, and then about once a month or so, maybe even less these days, we take it to the supermarket, we put it in these bins, and then it's simple as that. If you're not keen on taking your soft plastics to the supermarket, please don't put them in the recycling bin because it will contaminate the recycling system. They actually need to go in the garbage. Finally, we have our odd things out. So I've got a coffee pod from a capsule coffee machine. These coffee capsule machines really frustrate me because they're not really required. We can make coffee without them, and all these pods pretty much end up in landfill, I think more than 98% or something. But thankfully a lot of these coffee pod companies now have recycling programs for their product because they realise that it's a problem. And so this is a coffee pod from Aldi, which is the machine that my dad uses. And through TerraCycle I can sign up for a program where I can collect my coffee cup pods, put them into a plastic bag, into a box. They will then give me a sticker to stick on the box, and then I can send it to them and they will recycle it for me, and it doesn't cost me anything. So what I've done for my dad is I've taken that plastic bag that would have otherwise gone in my soft plastics and this old box that I got from something ages ago. I made a little bin for him. So all I've got to do is put these coffee pods in there, and when it's full, I'll close it up and send it away for free. And then that just leaves a lonely wine cask bladder. Now I've googled this and I actually have no idea how to recycle this, so I invite you, the internet, to help me out because I'm at a loss. It's a shame because other than that, this would have been a landfill-free week in my household, which is pretty amazing given that 3 of us don't adopt a zero-waste lifestyle. Hey, thanks for taking the time to watch today's video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to comment any thoughts or questions below or email me directly. No change is too big or too small. Everything counts. See you tomorrow.